It was a busy evening at Golden Plate, a high-end restaurant in the heart of the city. The clinking of glasses and murmurs of conversation filled the air, but in the corner, one man sat quietly, lost in thought. Donald Trump, the billionaire businessman, was not his usual confident self. He looked troubled, his hands gripping a glass of water, his mind clearly elsewhere.
Excuse me, sir. Is there anything I can get for you?
Just a refill of coffee, Black, thanks.
Tasha, the kind-hearted waitress, couldn't help but notice the weight on Trump's shoulders. She had served him before, but tonight, something felt different. She didn't just see him as a famous businessman. She saw a man who needed someone to show him some genuine care.
If you need anything else, I'm here. Just let me know.
Trump looked up at her, surprised by her sincere offer. A brief moment of vulnerability passed between them, something unspoken but understood. He gave a small, appreciative nod before turning his attention back to his thoughts. Tasha didn't expect anything in return. That wasn't her nature. She believed that even a small act of kindness could make a difference in someone's day. As she moved away, she felt a sense of satisfaction, knowing she had done something good. But little did she know, this small gesture would soon bring her into the center of a storm. Later that evening, as the last guests trickled out, the restaurant's manager, Marcus Reed, called Tasha into his office. His face was stern, his tone cold.
Tasha, I need to speak with you.
What's going on, Marcus?
Tasha could feel the tension in the air. She had always followed the rules, worked hard, and given her best to the guests. What had she done wrong this time?
You've been spending extra time with a VIP guest. You know the rules. We treat all our guests equally here. Special attention to anyone goes against our policy.
But I wasn't giving him special treatment. I was just offering a little kindness. There's nothing wrong with that, right?
Kindness doesn't make up for breaking the rules. I'm afraid you're gonna have to leave. Effective immediately.
Tasha's heart sank. She couldn't believe it. She had been fired for being kind. The injustice of it all felt overwhelming. How had something as simple as offering kindness led to this? As she walked out into the cool night air, she thought about the unfairness of the situation. She had been fired for showing empathy, for doing something that many others wouldn't have thought twice about. She felt a deep sense of loss, but also a growing determination. This wouldn't be the end of her story.
I won't let this go. I'll fight for what's right.
The next day, word of her firing spread quickly through the city. Local cafes, restaurants, and street corners buzzed with conversation. Many were outraged by what had happened. Among the people discussing the incident was Linda Carter, a close friend of Tasha's and a well-known community advocate.
This is wrong, Tasha. You did nothing wrong. The way they treated you is unfair, and we need to do something about it.
Maybe it's not worth it. I can't change their minds. They've made it clear that kindness isn't a priority there.
No, you're not giving up. I'm going to help you. We'll make sure everyone knows what really happened.
With Linda's support, Tasha began to gather evidence and testimonies from former employees. The truth was clear. Golden Plate valued strict rules over human kindness, but the tide was about to turn. Then, in a surprising twist, Donald Trump himself took action. At a press conference, he addressed the issue head-on.
Last night, I was shown kindness by a waitress at Golden Plate. And for that kindness, she was fired. That's not right. No one should be punished for showing empathy. It's time we rethink how we treat the people who serve us.
The media went wild. Trump's words were everywhere, and soon the backlash against the restaurant grew louder. People started sharing their own stories of unfair treatment in the service industry. The community rallied behind Tasha, demanding change. The Golden Plate's owner, Mr. Alan Barnes, had no choice but to address the growing scandal. He met with Tasha and Linda to discuss the situation.
I've realized we've made a mistake. We've allowed our rules to overshadow the humanity of our staff. We've failed to recognize that kindness is just as important as consistency.
As the weeks went by, the Golden Plate's reputation crumbled. Marcus Reed was forced to step down, and the restaurant began making efforts to change its policies. Tasha, however, was no longer interested in working for them. She had found new opportunity zones where kindness was valued. A few months later, Tasha received an invitation to speak at a community event where she shared her story with hundreds of people. She spoke of the importance of fairness, kindness, and empathy in the workplace. Her words resonated with many, and soon, more businesses began to reconsider their own policies.
We cannot let rules dictate our humanity. It's time for a change. Kindness should never be punished.
And so, Tasha's journey became a symbol of hope and change. It sparked a movement that grew far beyond her own experience, inspiring others to stand up for what was right. In the end, Tasha found not just new opportunities, but a renewed sense of purpose. She had shown the world that a small act of kindness could lead to big changes.
Her story reminded everyone that no matter how big or small, kindness always matters.